Look at the towering Himalayas, the cradle of ancient Vedic culture. Now travel 4,000 miles west to the storm-battered coastlines of Celtic Ireland. For centuries, the standard historical view was that these two civilizations developed in completely different worlds, isolated from one another by geography and time. But physical evidence challenges that assumption. This is the Pashupati seal, discovered in the ruins of the Indus Valley and dating back some 4,600 years. It features a horned figure seated in a specific yogic posture, surrounded by animal carvings. Now examine this artifact. This is the Gundestrup cauldron, found in a Danish peat bog, but linked to Celtic iconography. We see the god Cernunnos in an identical seated posture, complete with antlers, holding a serpent. This pattern repeats at the center of Irish kingship. The Leah Fall, or Stone of Destiny, stands on the hill of Tara. Its physical form and ritual purpose share a striking resemblance to the Hindu Shiva lingam. We have to ask whether these physical similarities are a massive series of coincidences, or the surviving remnants of a shared ancestry that once stretched across the entire continent. To find the answer, we have to look past the physical artifacts and examine the very words these ancient people spoke. When we compare Sanskrit and Old Irish, exact matches appear for core societal roles. The Sanskrit word for king, Raja, mirrors the Old Irish ri. The Sanskrit word for a free man, Arya, shares the same root as the Old Irish ire. This connection deepens when we look at who preserved these words. In ancient India, the Brahmins formed a dedicated intellectual caste, serving as the living libraries of oral history, poetry, and law. In Europe, the Celtic Druids held this same position in their society. They served as the doctors, the ambassadors, and the legal scholars for their communities. Look at the linguistic root for knowledge, vid. This single root branches in two directions. It forms the foundation of the Sanskrit Veda and the Celtic word druid, literally identifying someone immersed in knowledge. These parallels suggest that India and Ireland inherited the same social framework, relying on a specialized class to mediate the knowledge of their society. This common framework extends into their mythology and how they mapped the physical universe. In Hindu tradition, Danu represents the divine waters. She is identified as the mother of a powerful mythological lineage and the wife of the sage Kashyap. Celtic mythology features its own Danu, the mother goddess of the Tuatha Danann, the legendary rulers of pre-Christian Ireland. This map shows how Danu is physically carved into European geography. The name traveled westward, marking watercourses up to the river Danube. Furthermore, both cultures aligned their social classes and gods to the exact same cardinal directions, guided by the sun's orientation. By organizing their gods, rivers, and social hierarchies in the same pattern, these two cultures relied on a single spatial map to understand their place in the world. This shared architecture also dictated their legal systems and the role of the king. Consider a specific legal mechanism for collecting debts. In India, it was known as Prayopvesana, and in Ireland, Truscud. In both systems, a creditor would fast outside the home of a debtor of higher status to pressure them into acting justly. Both cultures believed the king's morality had a direct physical impact on his kingdom. A righteous king guaranteed calm seas and bountiful harvests, while an unjust ruler was blamed for crop failures and violent storms. To install a new king, both civilizations employed complex inauguration rituals involving sacred animals, the Vedic Ashvamedha, centered on a horse, and the Irish Tarbfeas, involving a bull. These matching concepts of justice and authority indicate that the link between India and Ireland extended into the way they regulated the behavior of both their people and their leaders. If this shared framework was so foundational, how did history forget the connection between East and West? As the centuries passed, the Eastern branch evolved. It absorbed new philosophies like Buddhism, while preserving much of the ancient Vedic structure that defines modern Hinduism. The Western branch faced a different transition. The Roman Empire's expansion, followed by Christian conversion across Europe, systemically sought to overwrite older Druidic traditions. Yet the core archetypes survived. The ingrained concept of the righteous king made it easy for Christian ideals to take hold in Ireland, just as similar frameworks allowed Buddhist morality to spread across India. The recurring traditions found at these two geographical extremes suggest that beneath the surface of modern cultures lies a shared ancient foundation, one that has persisted through thousands of miles and thousands of years.